Hot 93.7, Hartford's #1 for hip-hop and R&B, and of course, Hot937.com. Good afternoon to you. How you doing? I'm Jenny Boom Boom. I'm glad I returned today because we got Joe Budden in the studio right now. What's up, Joe?
Hi.
How you doing? You was over at ESPN, I heard?
Yeah, over there talking sports with the guys.
Okay. I know you like that TV talking sports thing.
I like that entire campus. They just serve really good food over there.
Really? I haven't been over there before. Rex, you been over there before? Oh, yeah, because you like a DJ for like UConn or whatever else.
I went over there.
Okay. So what kind of food they got?
It's like a campus. It's like a college campus for grown-ups.
Oh, nice.
So it's really good. And they have everything. Everything that you can desire is there.
Mm. Did you bump into Stuart Scott? Because, you know, he made that big announcement yesterday that his cancer's back. So, like, all these basketball players and athletes reached out to him on Twitter or whatever. It's just so sad because I guess he, like, had gotten rid of his cancer back in 2007 and now it's back again. So that's just sad news for Stuart Scott.
Well, sad at the moment, but he might beat it.
Yeah.
He beat it before.
Joe, we have a lot to talk about because Love and Hip Hop New York is getting crazy, Joe.
No, we don't.
Oh my God! And I woke up this morning and it was on my DVR and I watched it again this morning. I just happened to watch it. I didn't even know he was coming in, and I'm just sitting there like shaking my head, like, whoa. This season is crazy on Love and Hip Hop New York. Now, we spoke last week and you said it was going to get real crazy. So, what are you thinking now? Like, did you go back and watch the show?
Yeah, I watch every repeat.
Yeah?
I watch it all the time.
So what were your thoughts after episode 2?
Wow.
Yeah.
It was just a wow. It was a good episode.
No, it was dope, but it was like, I learned so much about you. I've known you forever, like 11 years or something now, right? So it's like, to just find out these things about you, like, I didn't know at all that you were suffering with any sort of substance abuse. I never knew that about you.
It was none of your business.
Well, yeah, you must have really kept it under wraps because, I mean, I tend to find out just about everything that's going on.
It was nothing to share throughout the entire time I've known you. I mean, there was nothing to say.
Because you were clean and sober for what, 14 years, you said?
So there was nothing to... What do you say?
So what is it that drove you to get back into doing what you was doing? Is it the TV? Is it the stress of the TV show? Like...
No, it's probably a combination of a bunch of different stresses combined. I had a rough year last year. It was a lot of work put in. I was probably a little overwhelmed, but it was quick Molly stint and off it.
Yeah, but I feel like you had such a good year last year because y'all got that great deal with Eminem. Y'all was on tour for a lot of the time.
For the whole year.
Yeah.
We toured the whole year, and that can take its toll on you. Mm. And it did. It took its toll. Because,
I mean, I know that I've dealt with you guys at your shows or whatever, and I've never seen anything that looked crazy to me. I've seen a little liquor flowing, but I never even saw you do that, so not really.
Well, you know, I still have not taken a drink since 97. Mm. Yeah, I mean, that's just not my thing.
Who was it that I saw on Twitter the other day? I think Crooked Eye said he's not drinking anymore. It's either him or Royce. I can't remember who said it.
Royce isn't drinking anymore.
So maybe it was Royce.
It might have been Crook, though, because I know he went through a stint where he wasn't drinking anymore. I know Joel stopped. I mean, we all pretty much stopped everything.
Why? Because it got too crazy at one point?
Because we're a wild rap group, and we were living like a wild rap group. Mm. It was time to slow down, because we're all men at the end of the day with families and kids, and, you know.
Isn't that why everybody gets into it at first, though? For the parties, for the shows, for the women, for all that free stuff that comes with being a famous rapper?
Yeah, but when you're on tour for the entire year, you know, you got to ask yourself, when does it stop?
Right.
It doesn't. It never stops. You take it home with you.
All right, well, we got Joe Budden in the studio. Call us up, 860-674-9307, 1-800-488-9307. And we got to hear Kaylin speak finally on episode 2, so we're going to talk about that in just a minute. It's Hot 93.7, Hartford's #1 for hip-hop and R&B. Joe Budden in the studio with us today.
Yo.
He was over at ESPN, so he decided to stop by, which I love and respect about you, Joe.
I stop by every time I'm over at ESPN.
I do love that about you.
Okay.
Okay. All right, cool.
I'm a friend to the show.
You really are. So we got to hear Kaylin finally speak, and I'm not even making a joke about that because people were so excited about her getting on the show on Love and Hip Hop. So because we just always see her in pictures with you. and she's just so freaking gorgeous. And of course, Kaylin is Joe Budden's girlfriend. So she had a scene on Love and Hip Hop. Now, I didn't realize she was really like I'm not trying to sound ignorant or rude. I just didn't realize she was like an actual member of the cast, but she's been hired to be on the show, right?
Yeah, she's on the show.
Because the way you kind of described it to me last week, she kind of just shows up when you show up. So, and I seen the pool scene, so I thought she was just going to be there to look pretty. But no, she's like has her whole like thing going on.
Yeah, no, they got her on. I mean, she's too big a part of my life for them to not incorporate her in some type of way.
Wait, now she said something on the show about she had moved out here to New York. She doesn't have any friends. So where did you meet her?
I met her through a mutual friend at one of my parties, actually.
Oh, okay. So where is she from, though?
She's from Miami.
Oh, she's from Miami.
She's from Miami.
So what is, like, Kaylin's whole thing? Like, what's her... I know she's probably a model because she's gorgeous. But, like, what is her career ambitions?
She's a Zumba instructor.
Wow.
Not a model.
So do you, like, take her class and all that?
No, I'm not doing no damn Zumba.
What, Joe?
No, I'm too much of a gangster to do Zumba.
Yeah, right. You take yoga. You and Russell Simmons.
Yoga and Zumba are two different things. I learned. So I learned.
So you and Russell Simmons be on the beach together?
Yoga's cool.
Yeah, yoga's cool. I can't wait for somebody to catch you doing that and put that on the internet.
What? I don't see what the hoopla will be there.
Well, also, we were a little bit surprised about the whole fact that, you know, she had dealt with substance abuse in her family. She said she's there to support you, which I thought was just a really lovely thing.
Let's be clear. Every black family has dealt with substance abuse. Like, I don't know where's the kicker.
There's no kicker. It's just something surprising to find out about you.
Yeah. Learn something new every day.
Yeah, most definitely. And you were so emotional, like when you're talking to your mom. Now, is your mom going to be a regular on Love and Hip Hop New York as well?
I hope not. I hope not. She makes me pay her every time she's casted to shoot a scene. She's charging me.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, how it started, like they were filming me and they really weren't getting any emotion out of me in any scene that they shot.
You just had the stone face, like, oh.
it's tough to get me emotional.
So you gotta put your mom in front of you.
They put my mom in there, and yeah, that was emotional.
Yeah.
But I'm like that with moms. Me and my mom are like extremely, extremely tight. She's like my best friend.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So she seemed so disappointed when, you know, you were dealing and struggling with that situation. Like, she felt so bad for you, and I could feel the emotion from her as well. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, that was very sincere, very genuine.
So, and she said that she will do whatever it takes to help you and get the people that, you know, can help you. So are you at this point clean and sober, Joe Budden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, that's really my role in the show, is them documenting this.
As you get clean and sober and get back on your feet the way that you want to be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm away from all the ratchetness. Like, my storyline is very, very personal and deep and emotional. I'm not with none of the other stuff.
Okay, cool. Who's got the corniest storyline, Joe Budden? Because I'm going to tell you who I feel has the corniest storyline on this show.
Thus far, what are we in, episode 2?
We're in episode 2.
Let's see. There's Tahiry, no. Me, Kaylin. The corniest? I don't know. Because, I mean, some of the storylines haven't really developed yet. I mean, you got Rich and Erica. That's pretty funny. And then you got
Erica Mena.
Olivia.
We'll be speaking to her next week. That chick is crazy. Like, that's what I gotta say. Like, she's crazy.
Yeah, I think she has like an on and off switch, because you meet her and she's like such a sweet girl.
Right.
And then she just turns up.
She goes crazy.
She turns up. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna tell you that I feel the corniest storyline so far is Jen the Pen in Consequence.
Why?
And I like Consequence a lot. I like Consequence. Lyrically, Consequence is unbelievable. And I like him, okay? I don't know Jen personally at all. But this whole, like, Consequence, can you give me the credit card so I can pay for the party type thing? Like, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah, but see, that
I think
aspect, that's not... See, to me, that's not really their storyline.
No, I think it's going to get deeper once he, like, wants to turn into, like, a Muslim.
And that's what I'm actually looking forward to that the most.
Right.
Like, that whole interfaith, interracial, like, that, because I know a lot of people that go through that in real life, and it gets really deep. So, I can't take Jen the Pen's voice. That whining, yagging,
it's a lot. It's a lot to take.
I would have had to throw her out the Bentley.
Did you, in consequence, at all talk? I mean, I don't know how well you know each other, but did you guys talk before this situation? Like, we're both going to enter into this venture. I mean, granted, you are a lot more famous than Consequence in the rap industry. People know who he is from working with Tribe Called Quest and working with Kanye. And he did admit on the show that he is a ghostwriter, which I just always had this feeling he was writing for Kanye. But did you guys have any sort of like talk at all about this before you guys both ventured into the situation?
No. I mean, well, he was signed on before me. I think
Okay.
I was the last person to sign.
I know you said you held out for like $1 million an episode or something, right?
No, I just held out. I just held out, period. You know, because I figured a lot of the show would be based around me and my
Your
world.
women, your harem. Yes.
My harem, that's a good word. No, but I mean, well, Tahiry was on the show. She was signed on the show
Right.
already. But you know, I didn't know. I thought that Tahiry would be on the show with her love interest, or, you know, I didn't know that my role and her role would intertwine.
Yeah,
so
that they were
much.
so important to each other.
Yeah, which I mean, I know that in real life. I know, you know, how we roll in reality. But because she was already on the show, I just didn't think that, you know, I didn't think that we'd be all threesomed up, me, her, and Kaylin.
Yeah,
But,
living every man's dream.
yeah, but they both look good. They both look good.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back again with Joe Budden in just a couple minutes. Let's get into some Joe Budden, some Slaughterhouse right now. It's at 937. He's got a brand new album coming out, so of course we're going to discuss that when we come back. And let's discuss Tahiry again. It's at 937.
Yes, reality TV superstar.
Is that how you're known now?
To me in my camp, it's funny because like I'm such an amazing like and
Reality
passionate
star?
lyricist.
Yeah.
So when I go places and they're like the reality, we're like, huh, what?
What's so funny about it is because you've become so, I mean, like, everybody knows who Joe Budden is, but you become so mainstream with the situation. That's what it is.
Yeah, right.
Like, you probably have so many more, obviously, more fans now because people just happen to catch the show like, oh, you know?
Well, the thing is, like we were talking about off air about like what do you have to do nowadays to sell women buy records. Women.
Mm-hmm.
Pac said it, and you don't divert from that. The women are the people that are going to push you to the top, and that's basically the show's entire demographic. So hopefully somebody goes to the store and buys my album, that sort of show. But for different reasons. Like, oh, he's cute. Let me go buy it. They don't take the care less about the music.
Well, how much will we see about, you know, the creative process for the album? How much will we see on the show coming up this season?
You know, it's funny. I said to my manager last week, I said, thus far, we've heard Tahiry talk about a song. We've heard Erica talk about a song. We've heard L'Oreal talk about a song. And Consequence, everybody has spoken about music except for me.
Except for the person that we both most know from music.
Except for the person that is most active in this industry. I mean, they shoot it. So I mean, we've got countless scenes in the studio. We've got countless show footage. Like we've got a bunch of footage with me and music. What actually makes the show? Who knows? Because it's all in the edit. So I mean, I have no idea.
Are you surprised by the way they have edited anything thus far?
No, not me. I love it all.
Because I tell you, I had like Making the Bands in here a couple years ago, and they were like all upset about the way that things are being edited for the show. It was making them look crazy, they said.
My thing is, they can't edit what you don't give them. So I mean, it's hard to paint me a certain way if I'm behaving a certain way the entire time. Like we only on episode 2, and I've heard at least 3 cast members complain about the edit. I'm perfectly fine with the way I've been depicted thus far. It was 100% me.
What about the crying scene? Did you go back and look at it, and were you embarrassed at all? I'm just
No.
curious.
Hell no. Embarrassed about what?
Because I just kind of, I'm going to be honest with you, like, as your friend or whatever, I felt a little funny seeing you cry
You know
on
what?
TV.
A lot of people that actually know me in real life, they were like, yo, I feel weird watching this show because it's like it's almost like invasive because I know you. But I mean, it's cool for me. I didn't have a problem. Humans cry from time to time.
We had Tahiry on the show on Monday, and she was talking about, you know, how, because I said how you felt certain people were changing in front of the camera. And she's like, yeah, you know, a lot of people are changing in front of the camera. And so I said, well, I was under the impression you were talking about Rocky at the time. You know, I don't know if you're talking about Tahiry too, but, you know, I didn't want to start anything.
No. Tahiry, she wears every one of her emotions on every
What-
part of her body, so she can't.
What was interesting about it, I said to her, I go, I've known Tahiry for a long time because of you, Joe. And I've always had a very nice, thing going on with Tahiry. She's very sweet. She's beautiful. I see her at all the Straight Stuntin' magazine parties and whatever else. She's so cool. And then to see what I saw last week, I was like, damn. Like, I didn't know Tahiry can...
Yeah.
I mean, you said it to Rocky Best. You were like, you was going to end up in the hospital.
But Rocky knows that. She knows that in real life. In real life, Rocky wants absolutely no part of. But again, when there's a million security guards around, and when there's a bunch of cameras around, and when
it's easy to start that fight.
Or it's real easy to look like you want that fight. She don't want that fight. She don't. And I mean, I'm not saying that to try to discredit Rocky at all, but she's not cut from that cloth.
Now, did they encourage anybody on that show to drink first or anything? Because I heard on Bad Girls Club they want everybody to be drunk before they even start the scene. Like Bad Girls Club, I don't even think they feed these chicks. They just leave the bottles out.
Listen, they have those drinks. They're offering drinks.
The drinks are flowing
at 8 a.m. No.
Oh God.
For breakfast. I mean, I'm probably the only cast member that doesn't drink. I mean, Kaylin no longer drinks, but yeah. So you get turned up early.
Okay. I was wondering if that was going on. And of course, you mentioned Tahiry's music, and I asked her last week if she's looking for a Joe Budden verse. She says she's not that far along yet, but would you jump on Tahiry's song?
If it was right. If it was right.
Have you heard Tahiry sing? Can she sing, Joe?
I haven't heard Tahiry sing live. I've heard some of the music.
Oh, so you heard the music that came out the studio?
Yeah, I've heard some of the music.
She never sang in bed or anything? There was no,
She never what?
Sang in bed? There's
No, that was moaning and stuff. That's a different,
yeah.
She was hitting different notes then.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's today, and this is not even about Tahiry, but I mean today, anybody can go in the studio and, if you have the right people with you in there creating, you can come out with good music.
Yeah, of course.
It's not even about you being the greatest singer. I mean, we've already seen, Trinidad James has been rapping less than a year, and he's
10 months. He got a $2 million deal.
Yeah, so I mean, do you really need to be so well versed? No.
Okay. All right. Well, you do have an album coming out. It's called No Love Lost. Talk to me about the album.
No Love Lost, February 5th. It's great. And I'm not just saying that because it's mine. I totally would trash it if it was bad.
I don't believe you, but okay. I mean, yeah.
Not trash it, but I wouldn't speak so highly of it. This album for me is very different, especially coming off Padded Room, which was more of a dark, underground, that album was more so for the cult. This album, as I'm more mainstreamed, I won't say the music sounds that way, but more people are messing with me, so I was able to go and I got a record with like I said, my next single, NBA, featuring Wiz and French. I would have never done that record any other time in my career.
What is it? Why do you want to explore this and work with different people?
Well, earlier in my career, I hated everybody. Everybody hated me. Well, even if they didn't want to hate me, because I hated them, they hated me. So, I would shy away from all collaborations. It was just easier to work alone. I would do everything by myself. And I didn't appreciate other forms of music.
Yeah.
Like if Trinidad James would have came out in 2005, I would have killed him. I would have bashed him. I would have went on a whole bashing spree just because that's how angry I was. Today, do the Slaughterhouse, do the M, do the my 11-year-old son. I can just appreciate all forms of music, and I'm not as hated today.
I also said to him last week, Rex, how surprised I was when he had this record that came out with Wayne and Tank. To me, I was like, this is foreign territory for Joe Budden,
Man, listen, I got another record on my album with Lloyd Banks and Juicy J.
Wow.
And it's crazy. And you would never hear those three names ever together unless it was, with all the features, I try to go left. I try to just do out-of-the-box stuff, and the song is called Last Day. It's crazy. It'll probably take off on the song when the album comes out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear the album. It sounds like it's going to be different than any Joe Budden album we've ever heard, ever.
It's more, as far as, it's probably more akin to my debut. Mm-hmm. Just because there was something on the debut for everybody. And that debut was kind of planned that way. This album kind of just fell into that. like with the songs that I was making. I was making girl songs. I was making bounce songs, because that's what hip hop is today. Like in 2003 when my debut came out, all that slower tempo stuff, we wasn't really rocking with that. Like,
right.
The whole, for the club to jump, it had to be up tempo, pump it up, fire type. So today, with people more accepting of this tempo, and with the South and, you know, just other regions playing a big part in hip hop, you know, I got a couple joints on there that's gonna go. That's gonna rock.
I'm excited about it. What about Slaughterhouse? Y'all gonna get together and do another album soon?
Soon? I don't know about soon. I can't speak
Y'all
for
have
soon.
to do your own solo projects first, right?
Well, Joel just put a record out called Brooklyn. I know Royce is working on something real big to come around March. And I know Crook is working on something. So I don't know if we're all going to just do our individual thing before we get back together. But, I mean, we're definitely going to get back together. We turn music around, like good quality music around pretty fast. So, and it makes sense.
That's what we want to hear. Well, Joe Budden, I know you have to go and tape Love and Hip Hop New York.
Lord. Yes.
Try not to get anything thrown at you today. Try not to break any hearts today.
Listen, nobody's throwing nothing at me.
I mean,
They're going to have a hard time if something come my way.
Okay.